like this guy's abusive or whatever, right? Which is hilarious to say about someone like myself, especially considering that, you know, I am very, very careful and very good with Kaya. Like I spend every waking moment with her. She is the love of my life. She's the most important thing in my life. Okay. I love her more than I love most human beings. From the cot to the PC, Kaya will be free. Yes, I will be addressing that as well. Don't worry. Imminently, as a matter of fact. There is a lot of, why are people mad about you, Kaya, / what were you doing? There's a clip out there that in the aftermath of me getting my internet getting pooped, I come back live and I'm very frustrated. And while I'm tweaking around, I give Kaya the place command as I usually do. And there's literally an emote for it in the chat for place, which is one of the things that she knows is she's like professionally trained. And I think while she was like getting up and down from the bed, I don't know exactly what happened, but I suspect that she tweaked her do nail, like the upper nail that's like on the side of the bed. People speculated that I was actually shocking her dew claw. People were like, "Oh, you're shocking her." Then I suspect that a bunch of people who have never trained a dog, never had a dog that required training, being completely idiotic. Yeah. I mean, it is basically a perfect shitstorm, because obviously I have a lot of haters. Obviously a lot of people love dogs, myself included. The clip looks horrible. And people were like speculating because I was like moving around and they're like, "Oh, he was like hitting a button on his desk." It is what it is. They say you never take her outside too. I know. The worst part about it is that a lot of people, the most insane part about it is that a lot of people were just like automatically under the assumption that I've been like abusing my dog that I love more than most human beings. You know, dogs hurt themselves sometimes. It literally looks like she got caught and it hurt. You literally gave her belly rubs right after. I know. It did get heavily blasted in the orbit, and a lot of people are like losing their minds over it. It's okay. It is what it is. They were saying Jen Welch was going to reveal it to us, but you shut her up. No, she was saying that the collar is too tight. The collar that she has on is too tight. And I was trying to tell her that like the reason why the collar is too tight is because she has too much neck meat. And that's it. Maya did not corroborate yet, so that must be true that you're the worst. I know. She's been secretly, as an animal conservationist, she's been secretly actually participating in the abuse of, once again, one of the most beloved dogs on the planet. Here's March in the chat. Funny part is Kaya legit lives a better life than most people I know. Lamau, I know. It is pretty nutty that is like an angle of attack here. Yes, Mike Vick is not going to be the next guest that I have. I saw it all over my ex. For every 15 posts I saw saying you shocked her, there wasn't even one in your defense, and those horrific posts had millions of views. It's okay. It is what it is. This is literally one of the I mean, I have people who have made it their full-time jobs to like professionally hate on everything that I do. This is an inevitable byproduct of this. It'll blow by in like a couple days. But as far as Hasan getting upset for targeted hate when that's his job is hilarious. See, this is the meta. Like, people think that I'm like directing targeted hate at others, and now I'm getting my comeuppance. In any case, it is what it is. I do think that there are people out there who saw the clip and were like, "This looks so bad," and they got completely duped by the framing of it. And it's all right. I understand. For those of you who are confused by it, I do not have a shock collar for Kaya, as I said yesterday, but it doesn't matter. People don't give a shit. And all of the other clips that people have been showing are either the AirTag or the vibration collar that she has, which I use when she is free roaming. You didn't refute the claims until now? No, I have. I did. Immediately. I did. Okay. My dog has a vibration collar like that because the shock collar wouldn't stop the barking. Yeah. And the vibration collar for off-leash training doesn't work in the way that you guys think it does. Asman was making it worse. No, but you don't have to refute. People will talk regardless. Yeah. In any case, her hair is far too thick, as this chatter also correctly pointed out, for there to work in it, for there to be any sort of collar that actually works in that way. Asman said police should use lethal force. Why is Twitch letting him say that kind of stuff? I don't know, because he's Asmongold and he gets to say whatever he wants. But once again, this is one of the most insane sagas that I have participated in so far. You have to be aware that your hater shipped the clip like 30 minutes later, happened on stream. I know. It is what it is. But I had a dream that Elon got you banned over this. Yeah, it is laughable because, once again, I have been around so many other content creators, people that do like literally animal welfare advocacy and things of that nature. This dog is a famous dog, and she is one of the best taken care of dogs of all time. Like, straight up. Lives a better existence than I do. Lives a better existence than many of you do. Definitely lives a better life than my haters do. That's for sure. As someone who almost always agrees with you on stuff, the clip where you mentioned buying a shock collar before and the other clip where you talk about Frenchies and your response to the collar being too tight were all disappointing. But yeah, I'm sorry. Everyone is just accusing you of something so awful. Yeah, the clips that they're using are from like 10 years ago when I was talking about not using a shock collar. That's what I mean. That's what's so crazy about it, because like in the clip that they're using from like literally 10 years ago when I had a different dog passed away, I'm straight up in the OG clip being like, someone suggested I get a bark collar because Fish actually barks quite a bit. Fish is my previous dog. Okay, this is the clip that was not manipulated, and I think they like clipped it in a way where here,
wanted to use a shock collar.
Here, this is what
wanted to use.
There's a bunch of clips that are going around right now, and people are trying to build this like people are trying to build this narrative, and here it is. Here's the 19-second clip. I'm going to show you what they're using currently.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for Fish and his dogs. I have it still. I bought it.
That's weird. What is that flash cut in between?
Dogs. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
Jordan.
My old roommate wanted to use a
Here is the original clip.
They wanted to use a shock collar for Fish and his dogs. For Fish and his dogs barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
That's literally from like 2018 or some shit.
But I couldn't do it.
Damn, why'd they cut it like that? Why don't you let her roam around the house? I'm not a hate watcher, just curious. Okay, so let me address a couple things really quickly. First and foremost, I have done this. I have addressed this a million times over. And not only have I addressed this, but I've also shown... like, not only have I addressed this, but I've also shown in videos like Kaya's day-to-day experiences and stuff like that. Obviously, she gets out. She has a morning. And not only that, but she also has an incredibly active afternoon. She gets 2 hours of playtime every morning at either the gym or at the park that I go to. And then as a big dog, as big dogs oftentimes do, she passes the out for extended periods of time throughout the day. As far as not letting her roam in the room itself, there's a very specific purpose for that. That is because, and this is something that I've described over and over again, the reason why she's not allowed to roam inside of this room, with the exception of like stretching or getting up, getting down, drinking water, things like that, is because she likes to lay on the ground. When she lays on the ground, that's terrible for her joints. Every single thing that I do with this dog is either with a professional dog trainer or with a vet. Okay? professional dog trainer or a vet. A lot of people don't understand how serious this is to take care of your dog, how important it is to make sure that you have like proper activity, proper socializing, and to make sure that your dog gets out, make sure that your dog is actually active, and more importantly, make sure that your dog has a regimented and very structured life, okay? Especially when you have a very large dog. I have a very large dog, okay? Large dogs have a tendency to get hip dysplasia, okay? Large dogs have a tendency to get hip dysplasia later on in their lives, and they have joint issues. She is 120 pounds. The other reason why it's important that a large dog is very properly trained is because a large dog can accidentally hurt someone. If not properly trained, a large dog can be very consequential for others. If she accidentally played with someone and nipped at someone, that would be a massive issue. It's a little different than like a Chihuahua, okay? It's a little bit different than a Chihuahua. They can also hurt themselves as well. So that is part of the reason why I take this very, very seriously and have taken this very, very seriously from the start. And there was a lot of like weird comments there. Like I'll bracket off the criticisms into 3 different categories. Okay. The number one is the broadest majority of people who saw that clip and were like, oh my God, this looks terrible. Like this guy is abusive or whatever. Right. Which is hilarious to say about someone like myself, especially considering that, you know, I am very, very careful and very good with Kaya. Like I spend every waking moment with her. She is the love of my life. She's the most important thing in my life. Okay. I love her more than I love most human beings. The notion that I would be abusive to her is obviously ridiculous, but it is what it is. And not only that, but also virtually every single person that has been around us would attest to that, for the record. That's number one. So looking at like a 20-second clip over an 8-hour time frame that is negatively framed, okay, that is negatively framed in a way to make it seem as though like I'm abusive or anything like that is, you know, it can reach a much larger audience. And if people are oblivious to it, they will get duped by it. And it is what it is. Okay. Number two, the second type of people that took advantage of this was the regular guys, like the tones and the pedo underscroll trolls of the world. From what I understand, Ethan himself was in some hot water for using a prong collar, which, by the way, ironically enough, I had used the prong collar in the past for Fish, my previous dog. So I think he was like using that as well to be like, oh, look, see, Hasan used a prong collar. And it's like, yeah, I don't anymore. And also, you know, it's just, I don't know how that has anything to do with me. Like your audience is yelling at you over that sort of thing. And then on top of that, there was like the third category of people who are totally in the periphery. Why not, instead of attacking your enemies, why don't you actually try clearing up genuine concerns? People instead, I am doing that. I'm going bit by bit, piece by piece through all of the common things that I heard. The idea that like, Hasan, you don't actually let Kaya roam in the house. This is untrue. I do. I don't let her lay on the ground, and instead I make her lay on her bed. The reason why I do that is because I don't want her joints to be up. Okay, she's a big dog. Big dogs have issues with their joints. Okay, big dogs have issues with their joints, especially if they lay on the hardwood floor for an extended period of time. Not only that, but also, as you can see here, Kaya gets a tremendous amount of play in the mornings with her boyfriend and girlfriend. She gets 2 hours of unstructured playtime. And that is the reason why she just passes out. You only go one VOD back and Kaya roams the entire VOD amount. I know, but it doesn't matter, right? Because if you are in here for an extended period of time, you already know this. You already know that Kaya gets to run the show, do whatever she wants. Okay? But the problem here is we're not invested in, like, the narrative is not being guided, are interested in having a reasonable opinion on this. Okay? I've never seen a Malinois with a docked tail before. Did something happen? Yes. Unfortunately, he bit into his tail so much that they had to literally do a medical intervention when he was wearing a Halloween costume. He had a lion's tail and a lion's mane. And when he was a little puppy, he basically chomped on it so much that they literally had to clip it. It's so sad. Anyway, so that's number one. Number two, she gets a tremendous amount of fucking activity in the morning. And that's the reason why she's mostly passed out for the entire duration of the stream. And then on top of that, at night in the afternoon, she gets another hour-long walk. The reason why she gets another hour-long walk is because sometimes she gets bored, and that's understandable. Other times she runs up to the door when my mom comes in. But of course, if you know, if you are in here, if you're in here for an extended duration, you've already seen that. Okay? Crazy to me that you have to give attention to this matter. All your viewers should know better. No, it's okay. It's understandable. Especially because this is like a big deal. I jokingly said dogfighting ? The clips don't show her trying to lay on the hardwood floor. She just stepped off her pad. Please explain. No, that's what I'm saying. That's she steps off the pad to go lay on the hardwood floor. That's why I give her the place command. The place command is done for multiple different reasons, but for the most part, the reason why, if you've ever trained a dog professionally or anything like that, you know that the place command is given oftentimes if your dog is like getting excited or barking or things of that nature. It's supposed to like ground them and calm them down because you're giving them a command. Dogs respond to order and a rigid, structured regimen. In any case, I don't know the exact reason as to why she yelped. She has done so in the past as well. I suspected it was because she like either tripped or she got her dew claw, like the higher thumb looking claw, clipped on the side. But I suspected that is the reason. I don't know. But I know that there's a lot of people that immediately were like, oh, this is what's going on. I see exactly what happened. He fucking is like secretly fucking like pressing a button that he has on his desk or something like that. I have multiple collars. I'm going to address the collar thing in a second as well. But I have multiple collars for Kaya, and I put an air tag on them. I put an air tag on all of her collars to make sure that I know where she's at. And one of the collars that people are pointing to in the from previous days or from like months ago is the collar that is a vibration collar, a collar that I use specifically to communicate with Kaya when she's free roaming at the park or when she is off leash running around. Okay, because when you leave your dog to free roam, to go out on the trail or whatever, there are going to be instances where you can yell for her to come back to do recall, but because she's so far away that she can't hear you. Okay? That's where the vibration collar comes in. It vibrates. It doesn't actually have any sort of like shocking component. Okay? And there are multiple different versions of this. There are the no bark collars that I believe both vibrate and also emit like a large sound, like a loud sound. There are shock collars as well. They all look very similar to one another. Okay? But the vibration collar is what they were pointing to. Okay? To be like, oh my God, he has a collar that he's using to abuse her and shocking her. There are a lot of dogs who use this. Okay. There are also a lot of dogs, working dogs, that use a shock collar as well. Is the vibration collar a positive reinforcement technique? No. But positive reinforcement techniques are necessary for any kind of training. Like, there is no, it's neutral. This is by far your stupidest controversy yet. I know. But it's a lot of people, understandably, love dogs. I do think it's kind of crazy that one of the 1,000 times you yelled place on stream, the yelping only happened once. I know. It's such a common thing. It's such a common thing that I do that there's an emote for it. Can you explain docking to the new viewers, please? What do you mean? Dude, none of these guys crying about it train their dogs. They know nothing. Yeah. Shock collars are not bad for dogs if used correctly. Any dog trainer will have you put the shock collar on your arm and feel it. Yes, I have. I have done that. It's not even, a shock collar is not even like actual electrocution. It's like a Thames machine. Okay? That's the other thing that people are fucking completely oblivious to. Yes, a shock collar is like, if you've ever used a Thames machine, it feels like ants. It's a Thames machine. That's what the sensation feels like. Okay? But it doesn't even matter because that's not what she was, that's not, like, I don't have that anyway. I think you should wear the collar and bark for chat. Would make everybody happy, including us degens. E-collars are used for training, especially for dominant breeds. Shock collars are not bad for dogs if used correctly. My friend used to use it around his neck. I'm a vet assistant. It is meant to break them out of a fixation if they're not responding to commands. And yes, it does have to be tighter than a normal collar. No, the reason why her collar is tight is because she just has a lot of neck meat. That's it. That's the only reason. There's no other reason why she has a tight collar. From a psychological standpoint, a shock collar that vibrates is that it's still considered a form of positive punishment, but it's extremely minimal in terms of actual damage. Yeah, there's no real damage there at all. I think the worst aspect of it was the worst aspect of it was that I was frustrated because the internet had cut out, and I didn't immediately like rush to her. I went to her afterwards to see if she was all right, but she was, of course. And that's it. And I do take accountability for that. Like, it's fucked up. I should have immediately went over when I saw her yelping, and that's it. Like, but the idea that I'm like a abusive dog parent is completely fucking ridiculous. But now that I've already addressed this, I'm sure we will, I'm sure that the rest of the stream will be normal as we get to the regular broadcast. You looked hella guilty afterwards? Yeah, brother. I'm currently immensely jet lagged. Okay. Also, they saw a clip of you teaching her, showing her in the pool and went there drowning her. Yeah. But that's why I'm like, I mean, it's the same as this. Like, you see, if you watched Kaya play fight with her friends, this Belgian Malinois gets very aggressive, but they're just fucking playing. They're not like, for the uninitiated, especially if you don't have a dog, and everyone's dog is different, you can look at it from afar and think, oh my God, this person is, this person is like engaging in a dog fight or anything like that. Anyway, I plan on doing a video on the different collars that she has eventually, so that I can show you, maybe do like a dog trainer style video, or like a day in the life of Kaya video, where I show you what she does every single day. Service dog and behavioral dog trainer here. Vibration collars are used as a cue to get the dog's attention back to the command. Also, the place command and laying in one spot for long periods of time are used to ground the dog, maintain structure, and is even used with service dogs and other working dogs for them to have a spot where they can be a dog. I agree with Hasan for protecting her joints. I know, but like, it doesn't matter. There are people who like professionally train dogs who will look at that and be like, no, this is like, I don't know exactly what happened here, but the place command is perfectly fucking normal. Is this what you have to deal with on a regular? Dumb controversies and desperate attempts to discredit you? Yes. Just a fair warning, certain ex-co-hosts going to do an entire episode about this with you and the Thumbo, so just going to happen all day, King. I'm sorry, this is their new meta. I know. It is what it is. I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny for a lot of people to like assume that she's like
shit. Like I'm a little worried now. Whenever you guys say like oh,
what is happening with
on?
fucking Twitter? Twitter is not working.
Whenever you guys
is that her just no leash walking?
look at this.
Oh my God. How is this possible?
Bro, when you have discipline in your life, when you have a rigid structure in your life, when you work hard, you can achieve anything. Okay.
What the fuck? Buddy would never do that.
Yeah,
if Kevin was here, he would have ran right in front of that van and got hit and died.
Buddy would have at a certain point loved to do that. You just didn't teach Buddy that. Let's walk.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Good girl.
You know what?
There's some shit. Like I'm
I don't know why this is like not working. Can you just show the collar? Shut everyone up. XU said he would donate 50K to a shelter if he did. Okay. Sure. October 7th, free hostage Kaya. I can't even tell if people are like saying that in jest and they're making memes about it, or if there's like people who are sincerely saying stuff like that because they're like, you're abusive to your dog. With the maid outfit too? Yeah, man, you explain things well and shit, but show the collar though, dude. Kaya, okay. Come here. This is one of Kaya's many collars. Come here. Sit. Good girl. This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. Good. There's the air tag. There's the fucking vibrator. It also has a flashlight component to it at nighttime, and it also has a tracker on it when she gets lost. If she were to actually get fucking lost, you are able to, it emits a sound. Okay? Here. Kaya, come. Kaya, come here, baby. Good girl. Place. There are days where Kaya doesn't wear a collar. There are days where she wears a different collar. Okay? This, in and of itself, doesn't actually work in the way that you think it does. Okay? Here. This is the flashlight. Okay? And this is when it vibrates. All right, come here. Place. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay? I understand. I understand why people are concerned about it. It's okay. It makes sense why people will be like, "Oh my God, this person is being abusive." If they only saw that clip, it doesn't matter, and this will not go away. For the record, I'm sure that the people that are saying that this is not like the real deal will continuously and expertly scrutinize every minutia to say, "Oh no, you don't understand. This is a situation where he's trying to get out of it," or anything like that. Even an e-collar that uses a low current as in a shock collar is no worse than a cell phone vibration if used correctly. Yes. Will all those that slandered you apologize now? No, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't. No, because they've been targeting you before this and they will continue to do so in the future. Exactly. And they will continue saying like, "I don't believe it. I don't, it's this or that." I think the greatest counter to this shit would be to basically the greatest counter. Why did you use it then? I didn't. The greatest counter to this would be the 7 million hours of me hanging out with Kaya. And there are already people who are saying this. There are already people who are fucking going crazy in the chat talking about how this is it doesn't matter. You're still defending shock collars, all this shit. Like, she's been on stream for 10,000 fucking hours at this point. She's grown up on this stream. She's been outside on stream. Why can't you just grab the collar and show us? I just did. It doesn't matter. Genuine ask, aren't Tibetan Mastiffs advised to give large open space to roam around? And though, apart from everything else, you have her sitting for hours on end in one spot. Is that okay for her? Yes. Everything that I do with Kaya, is from professional trainers and from vets. Okay. I am perhaps a little bit too type A of a dog parent. If anything, I'm a little too I'm a little too hyper critical, but that's it. But the reason why I do that is because I don't want to fuck up. Large dog, what were you reaching for in the clip? What do you think? That's where all my fucking Zintins are. Anyway, it is what it is. But people will continuously hyper scrutinize everything that I do. They will continue to look for anything that they can. It's one of the funniest things that you could yell at me over, though, because like I am very I'm very on it in terms of like reinforcing the training. Okay, because if you actually train your dog, or you take your dog to a trainer and then refuse to reinforce that behavior, you ultimately allow your dog to slowly but surely expand the permission structure. And dogs need good guidance at every given moment. Okay? A lot of people who are like talking shit right now are completely oblivious to that reality. They've either never taken care of a pet, they've never actually taken care of another living, breathing, organic thing, okay? Whether it be a fucking hamster or a dog or anything else. And for that reason, they just don't understand it. Overprotective, maybe. Abusive, laughable, yes. I am very overprotective.